everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Zuli here at Zucchini's Journey, and today we're actually going to be doing my week 1 check-in for the first half week of October, I guess. It's going to run from the 1st to the 3rd. So the reason I actually have this giant stack of planners here is because I actually want to kind of go over what my new setup is going to be. If you guys watched my last video, you know that I was in this mini HP planner that I had set up for my goals that I technically never finished, but I had my budget planned out in this setup. Now, the only reason I even had it set up in this planner is because originally I had the Erin Condren monthly deluxe planner for 2021. This is my budget planner. To be honest, I didn't really do much budgeting this year in it. I think I did start in January. I think I fell off around April. Yeah, April is when I started falling off of my budget. And when I went to set up my October budget in here, I really just messed it up completely, and it was a shit show, for lack of a better term. So I decided just for this month I would move to my mini HP, and I realized that the mini HP is kind of too small for me to really do my budgeting. I didn't really like the size for budgeting. Like, it's okay, but I guess I was just so used to the Erin Condren, and I have the Erin Condren in the 8.5 by 11 size, so it's like the biggest size. And then this is I forget what the size of the mini HP is. It's like, I think 4 by 7 or something like that, or 5 by 7. I don't even remember. But anyway, so it was a significant difference in size. So then I started thinking about what I wanted to do for next year. I don't know if I want to purchase another Erin Condren. And when I was looking on their website, I noticed that the only monthly planner that they have in the size that I'm currently using, which is like I said, the 8.5 by 11, is the Mid-Century Circles. And I'm honestly not crazy about that design. I don't do a lot of sticker planning in my budget planner. Most of my setups are just pen and paper, so I would definitely be seeing that design all the time, and I wasn't really crazy about it. So then they have the Flora, which is really pretty, but the problem is that they only have it in the 7 by 9 size. And then I started thinking about it, and back in 2020 I had bought a Happy Planner budget planner, which is a 7 by 9-ish size, and I wasn't really doing well in this planner. It wasn't working for me, so I had stopped and tried. That's eventually when I started using the Erin Condren, but it really wasn't working out for me. It's super colorful. The actual budgeting portions of it just aren't the way that I like to set up my budgets, so it wasn't working out, and it's just been sitting there. This is an undated one, so what I ended up doing was I decided for October, maybe even, actually probably not November, because November I can move back into my EC, but for October I decided I'll just move into this. I'll print out my own layout, put it in here, see if I even like the size, and then decide from there if I just want to create my own planner for my budgeting, or if I want to purchase the Erin Condren Flora, I think it's called, the pattern, which would be roughly the same size. So that's what I did. I ended up printing out a new budget thing that I created myself. It's basically the same layout as before. I just changed the cover page. I changed this, and then I just changed the layout here to be a little bit more of the original budget planner layout for this. So if you look here, it has the lines, and then it goes Sunday to Tuesday and then Wednesday to Saturday, but I start mine on Mondays. But anyway, so I have the notes. I have 3 days here, 4 days here. So I went and moved in. I just basically transferred and copied all of the information that I had in my mini HP already on here, so you guys don't have to watch me do that again. And then I set it up sort of like the EC. So if you guys use an Erin Condren, you're pretty familiar with this layout. I really like this layout. I usually put like my goals here, my sinking funds, cash envelopes, and then I never know what to put here, but I usually figure something out to put there. So I wanted that again, so I just printed it out, and then I transferred my budget overview here as well. So basically the same thing, but the difference with this is that in the mini HP, I really didn't have enough room to bring the variable expenses right underneath the fixed. So I had it like fixed, variable, and then debt and savings. So here I actually fixed it where it would be income, fixed, variable, debt, savings, and then the rollover. So, and then the savings portion is a lot bigger, so I was able to put all of my sinking funds and what I'm budgeting that I'm going to be putting in for the month versus what I actually put in at the end of the month. But anyway, so that's basically where I'm at right now. If I end up liking this, like I said, I'll then debate on whether or not I will purchase the Erin Condren, or maybe I'm kind of leaning towards just making my own. So continuing this, I already have November here. So I'm thinking of just continuing this for 2022, printing them all out, putting it in here, and calling it a day. I might want to get like a different like cover, because I'm not really crazy about this cover, but I don't know, we'll see. And then I do need to get new tabs or dividers, because the problem with these is the divider already has like half of the month like printed on the back or whatever, so it's gonna look a little funny. So I might need to get new dividers. Maybe I'll try and figure out how to make my own for that too. But anyway, so that's a lot of rambling. Let's just get on into the actual weekly check-in. So I have written out all of my expenses. Not much. Like I said, this was literally just for from the 1st to the 3rd, so I don't have that many expenses. I mean, I could have had less. The only reason I have these post-its here is just to know when to stop putting these expenses onto my monthly overview. You guys will see what's under these post-its next week's in next week's video for next week's check-in. So I'm just going to set that aside, and I'm just going to go ahead and start putting my expenses onto my monthly overview, and then we'll do the actual check-in. I am using these Zig Color Dot Zig Clean Color Dot markers. I'll also be using a Tombow brush pen in number 856. That's that. I'll be using this yellow mild liner and this Tombow like calligraphy pen. So I think this is called like I think it's called the Fudonescu, something like that. I don't know. So what I'm actually going to do is with this yellow mild liner, I'm actually just going to highlight the ones that were bills that were paid. So I know not to put that back on my monthly overview. And then I just want to I gotta use this. So in my EC, I actually had like a little key. So those are my categories and the colors that coordinate to those categories. So for food, it's gonna be this one, this guy. So we have this guy, and this guy. And then the only other expense that I had for this week was an unbudgeted expense for Norton. I had to get a new whatever it's called. I had to renew the Norton antivirus on my computer, so that was an unbudgeted expense. All right, so on the first, we had DoorDash. So this is what I do. I usually put a little dot here. Let me zoom you guys in, and you know, it would help if you guys were in frame. So I put the little dot here, and then I just write down what it was. So I had DoorDash for China King, and it was for $27.49. On the second, I had the unbudgeted expense, which was for Norton, and it's for $31.98. I also went to Dunkin' on the second, and that was for $6. And then on the third, I just had DoorDash. And that was for $17.80. So those are the only expenses I had. So now I'm just gonna go into my weekly check-in here. I'm gonna be using this Pilot Friction. I mentioned this in my last video. I got it from JetPens. It is a multi-pen. So week 1, it's gonna be from 10/1 through 10/3.
Got groceries, gas, restaurants, or eating out, laundry, which I really need to do, and then we have my pocket money.
Starting balance for groceries, I believe, was $250. Let me just go back to my budget, and yep, I budgeted $250 for groceries this month. Gas, I budgeted, gas is supposed to be getting $50 for the month. Restaurants is getting $75 for the month. Laundry is $50. Pocket money is $100. And then unbudgeted, we're gonna put 0 because we're not supposed to have unbudgeted expenses. Let me just calculate what this equals out to. So we have
250 plus 50 plus 75 plus 50 plus 100.
So $525. We didn't spend anything in groceries. We didn't spend anything in gas. We spent
$27.49 plus 6 plus $17.80.
$51.29 in restaurants. Laundry, we didn't spend anything. And then pocket money, we didn't spend anything. And we ended up spending the $31.98 in unbudgeted. So now our remaining balance for groceries is still $250. Our remaining balance for gas is $50. Our remaining balance for restaurants is $23.71. Laundry is $50. Pocket money is still $100, at least for this week. And then unbudgeted is at a negative $31.98. So altogether we spent
$51.29 plus $31.98.
$83.27 spent this week. We're just gonna add this portion out. So we have
250 plus 50 plus 2371 plus 50 plus 100 minus 31.98.
leaves us with a balance of $441.73 that we can use for the rest of this month in those categories. And I'm just gonna, while I have you guys here, I might as well just go ahead and fill this part out. So this is the total. So at the end of the month, once I'm done with my week 5 check-in, then I'll go ahead and input these numbers for the totals, what I budgeted I was going to spend for the month versus what I actually spent for the month, and then I would transfer those numbers back to my budget overview to over here to see, you know, just to see what my actual numbers are.
So groceries is supposed to be $250. Gas is $50. Restaurants is $75. Laundry is $50. Pocket money is $100. And the total is $525.
So yeah, that is all for my week 1 check-in. I am gonna be recording week 2 check-in next week. Actually, I forgot to update this part.
So I actually did spend $12.50, $38 for the coffee paper sub box, $93.15 for that. Planet Fitness hasn't come out yet, I don't know why.
And Peloton was actually $13.85, which I know doesn't make sense for me to need a calculator for this, but I do. So I'm over budget in my Peloton expense, which I knew I would be because I wasn't sure how much it would be with taxes. This is my first month having this expense for Peloton. But yeah, so this is negative $86. The rest of these are good to go. And I actually did cancel this, so this is going to be a 0. That is all I have for today, I believe. And yep, and I didn't use these two. I just realized I was going to use this for next week, so you'll see what I use these for next week. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye everyone.